All right, let's give everyone a moment to get in here. Thank you guys for joining me. My name is John Crump, which, if you're watching this live stream, you probably know. If you're watching the replay, you might not know. But today we're going to be talking about what is going on at SCOTUS. And this is big news. It's not good news, it's expected news. I kind of had a feeling that this was this was what was going on. I talked about this before when people were like, "Why is it taking so long?" I'm like, "Someone's writing a dissent, and that's not good for our side." And apparently, I was absolutely right. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We've been waiting for a long time for the Snopes decision to come out, and also not and also the Ocean State Tactical to come out of the Supreme Court to see if they were going to go ahead and grant cert or not. Ocean State is about like magazine restrictions, and Snopes is about Maryland's assault weapons ban. One's from Delaware, one is from Maryland. Both come out of the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, which is probably the most anti-gun circuit court in the country. If you remember, sorry, I was looking at something. If you remember, the Fourth Circuit said that AR-15s is not protected by the Second Amendment. So AR-15s are not protected by the Second Amendment because they are not protected arms. To me, that is absolutely preposterous and crazy. But to the Supreme Court, they decided that they didn't need to weigh in on it. On the Ocean State side, there was no dissent posted, so we don't know like what the justices thought. When it comes to Snopes, there was a dissent, and that dissent was by Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas wrote a scathing dissent of the denial of cert, stating that he would have granted cert and that the Fourth Circuit has ignored previous Supreme Court rulings such as Bruin and Heller. So Judge Thomas would have granted cert. The other justices, not so much because hey, they got to do it. Okay, so this case primarily concerns Maryland's ban on AR-15 semi-automatic rifles. Americans today possess between 20 and 30 million AR-15s, and AR-15s are illegal in 41 of the 50 states, meaning states as Maryland prohibit AR-15s are something of an outlier. That is what Kavanaugh said, basically. And he said that they will address the issue soon in the next term or two. So yeah, but Kavanaugh says that they are going to take a case on assault weapons. It's just not going to be this case. So in the future, Kavanaugh says we are going to take it probably within the next term or two, but this is not the case that we wanted. Thomas, on the other hand, said absolutely, we'll take any case and we will go ahead and rule on it. So if Kavanaugh is to believe, within the next 1 to 2 years, they are going to take up an assault weapons case. They just did not want to take up this one. Thomas would have taken up this one. What I think that they are waiting for, I think they actually want the Illinois case. Beavis out of Illinois. That's where I think they want to go. I think they want to take the Illinois case, but we'll have to see. But it's just not going to be Snopes. When I've been saying for a while, I think someone's writing a dissent. and we're right. It was Thomas writing the dissent. Thomas basically, let's get to. Hey, Rich, how you doing?
Crumpy, good morning.
Yeah, Thomas would have granted a writ of certiorari because the Fourth Circuit said they are not arms. And he said the Fourth Circuit erred in requiring the challengers to prove that the Second Amendment protects their right to own a AR-15, or in the terms of the Second Amendment jurisprudence, that their conduct falls outside the historical exceptions to the right to bear arms. The challenger needs only show that the plain text of the Second Amendment covers his conduct. This burden is met if the law at issue regulates Americans' arm-bearing conduct. Once the challengers make this initial showing, it is the government's burden to show that a historic limit on the right to bear arms nevertheless justifies its regulations. The Fourth Circuit placed the burden on producing historical evidence on the wrong party. Our Constitution allows American people, not the government, to decide which weapons are useful for self-defense. Good. Gorsuch and Alito would also granted like certiorari. So basically three justices said that they would have granted it. Kavanaugh says he will grant it in the future. This isn't the case that he wanted. So I think we're going to see a case challenging assault weapons ban within the next 1 to 2 years. I do agree with Kavanaugh on that one. I think that they want Beavis. I mean, this is a defeat, and it went down, but it does show that they are looking for the right case. They did not believe that these cases were right. That might be because the Naperville case challenges both magazines and AR-15s, and instead of doing two cases, maybe they want to roll it up into one, which is what I'm hoping. But I think right now we got to look at Snopes, not Snopes, at Naperville as the case that they're going to take.
I'm a little annoyed, justice delayed is justice denied, that it takes years for any of this to go on. And, I have a more personal thing going on, and it's over a year. It's like this should be a slam dunk, these types of things. These are our constitutional rights. It said arms. It didn't specify what types of arms, and they intentionally did not say muskets in the Second Amendment. So the only problem that I have is if you look forward into your, magic 8-ball, crystal ball, whatever you want to call it, is Thomas and Alito still going to be around in 2 years? And are we going to have more Kagan Sotomayors and Tarzan Brown Jacksons? That's the problem.
Yeah. So right there. It's going to take a while for Beavis and whatever to get through, Naperville, whatever you want to call it, to get through, because it's going to take. We're probably 2 years out. Probably 2027 if it gets granted.
I mean, do we just have to send Alito and Thomas vitamins and exercise machines and gym memberships?
Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens, but this is what I was expecting. I mean, remember when we talked about it multiple times on John Crump Live, where I'm like, yeah, I don't have a good feeling. I think we're gonna get I think someone's writing the dissent. And I surmised it was Thomas writing the dissent of not granting cert. And unfortunately, that is what happened. So, yep. That's exactly what happened. Well, but we'll have to see where we go from here. I still believe that it is going to be within the next 2 years. We will definitely get an assault weapons case, whether it's a Beavis or not. I think it will be. We'll have to see. I've been pretty spot on about this 'cause I didn't think that they were gonna take Ocean State, and I didn't think they were gonna take Snopes because Beavis covers both issues in those cases.
It's kind of like, should the Supreme Court take more cases? It just seems a little ridiculous to me at the glacier pace that they move. And the other thing is, when you look at Israel's Supreme Court, maybe you don't want a Supreme Court taking more cases.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But that's basically it, guys. Not too much to update, just what I read to you guys, and to let you know that the Supreme Court has punted these cases and denied these cases, really. We're gonna have to wait until we get another case coming up, which I believe that I do believe that they're gonna take Beavis. I honestly believe that they're gonna take Beavis. Either way that goes, I think they're gonna take it. Especially if we win on the circuit level, then it will be a circuit split. So hopefully we'll win on the circuit level. But don't lose hope. There is still hope out there.
Yeah, I just keep sending donuts, fatty donuts, to all the liberals on the Supreme Court.
All right, well, you do that. But we're going to get out of here. And with that, we are gone. Bye.